Welcome back to the channel, y'all. How's your day going? First of all, my name's Ryan, and we're discussing. We've not fully discussed it before. We have hinted at this a couple times. What if Joe Biden decides to step down and is not the nominee for this year's Democratic Party for president? And let's get the glasses on. First of all, if he steps down, that would put Kamala Harris into the presidential role, and you can decide upon if you like the idea or not. Also, Republican nomination day 3, and it's looking like everyone's having the time of their lives. Currently, you got JD Vance speaking right now, and it's easier to like him than it is a lot of other people. I feel like within the political world, because he has a history of coming from a bad background. He's fought his way up. The American dream is pushed that way, but his wife seems very smart. He seems very intelligent. He understands different backgrounds, and it's nice to see again. We discussed it a lot before. Relatability. If you're able to relate with the audience with your government, with your not just government, but your country overall, that's a huge thing. If you can relate, that's the biggest thing of them all. Because again, if you can look strong and you're willing to listen to their opinion, that's all you really need. Doesn't matter what you actually do, as long as you look strong and can listen to people's opinions, a lot of good things will probably happen to you. And this guy seems like he's willing to do it. So it's overall seems like a good choice so far. Again, he's not had a chance to go in and debate anyone specifically. Kamala has accepted an idea of a debate that'll be on CBS News for against JD Vance, which I'll be very interesting to see. But if it's not Biden, because Biden, if you don't know, he's got COVID. He's sick. He's ill. He's been ill. The Democrats have hurt themselves because they have not shown this side of him for over 2 years. And now it's not, after the debate, it just came out. You couldn't hide it. It's been about a month ago when the debate happened, and so much has unraveled since then. It's been genuinely one of the most insane months just from the debate to now in the history of the political part, of just the political side of the United States. One of the most intense, one of the most storyline filled, just crazy things have happened recently that you would have never thought in 1,000 years would have happened. But we're here. We are here. And Biden is getting told by a lot of people within the Democratic Party to leave. The donors are wanting him to go. The people within there want him to go. Some people within the Senate want him to go. And if you had to say which one weighs more, I would rather keep him. I'd rather not. I bet a lot more Democrats would say, I don't want him in there. So what do? What is the other options? Well, the main option is Kamala. To be a vice president, you have to eye a lot of what the president's ideas are. Well, one of the main things they like about JD Vance is that he echoed a lot of what Trump said. He agrees with a lot of Trump said and will follow it. That's why you're the vice president, because if someone dies, you have to take over. Or if they want to step down, like the situation is, they would take over. And you want to keep that consistency there. But Kamala, let's discuss something that I don't think some people will be willing to discuss, but we're going to discuss it because we discussed that not a lot of mainstream media would do. She's a woman running for president. And it's not just her opinions, you might all like that, is that a lot of other countries do not respect women the way this country does. And the idea of a lot of women say, we don't get respected here. Okay, go to a different country. You would love to live here compared to other women in other countries. They're not respected the same. So a lot of countries would not respect a female president, especially in the United States, within the same party, from a guy that can barely walk upstairs. He decided that she would be the vice president. Same guy that doesn't know how to count to 2. He doesn't know how to do this stuff. So why would they ever believe that she would be a good president? Not many people would. And if we discuss who are female presidents right now, Mexico is a female president. You know how they had that happen? There was 37 assassinations on candidates from Mexico that could have become the president. 37 presidential candidates got assassinated. If you don't say that's any cartel finagle going on right there, I would highly question your intelligence. She's got a lot of connections, let's just say that. A lot of other countries aren't going to respect the female president. And a lot of Americans won't respect the female president. So the likelihood of that happening, you're in a Democratic Party that is already at one of its worst looks it's ever been, and you're a female. That's not going to go well. And also your ideas aren't the best. Because if you eye what Biden's saying, it's not going to go well. But we have some other people. If you want to throw some names around, I don't know a lot about these people, but I will throw the names around. And if you want to, I would love for y'all to give a description in the comments about these people. But I know a little bit about this guy, Gavin Newsom from California. He's one of the main Democrats out there. He can talk well. Nice little personality. Ignores answer. He cannot answer questions well. And it's California. I know a lot of people from California love it in the south side of the country rather than down there, up there in California. Excuse me. That's how bad it is out there compared to here. It's a big difference. You got Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan. I don't know anything really about her. Only thing I know about Gretchen is that I had a teacher in 8th grade, math teacher. Her first name was Gretchen. She hated the name, and she was an okay teacher. So that's the only thing I know about a Gretchen. Next up, we have J.B. Pritzker from Illinois. You don't know much about him at all. And then you have Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania. Those are some other people. Those aren't household names to a lot of people outside of, I say, Kamala and Gavin Newsom. I don't know these other three people. Household names are people around my age who's going to be able to vote next year would probably know these people. But they aren't been marketed. They haven't been talked about a lot. So it's tough to beat a guy that is arguably the most popular man in the country. And whenever we were under his reign, I don't care what y'all say about his opinions or whatever, we were overall pretty safe. Not a lot of bad, crazy, bad stuff happened under us. We weren't having riots. We weren't having these monstrous protests that lead to violent events. We had a few, but it was not heavily consistent. Like in the COVID year, it was hell for that year. 2020, if there's any year that could be excused over any, was a mixture of Democrats forcing agendas and Republicans just taking a step back and Trump getting in his own way. It was a mixture of everything within itself. We were all not acting normal that year. Let's just be honest. But we're looking from late of 2016 to 2019. Felt overall pretty good. Those are pretty good years of most people's lives. Unless they're outside of bad family or anything like that offensive. But overall as a country, it was not bad. And we were overall unified somewhat well. Somewhat well, not perfectly, but somewhat well. Biden, not at all. We've been more split than ever. And it's just been downhill. A lot of people, some people you just never be able to please. And no matter what Trump does, he's got shot at and people are saying it's fake. This idea of it's planned. Why would they ever risk their number one guy getting shot at that close? Would you ever risk that? That's like putting your own child out there. It's like, we're going to teach these children a lesson. We're going to have them get shot. My favorite child, I'm going to have him get nearly shot. Clip his ear. Kill someone else in the process just to prove a point. We're going to unify. It's going to unify the family together. That's not how that works. It's not. No. That's not how that works. You would never even risk that idea, let alone the number one guy in the country at the presidential job for your party. You would never risk that. You would never. Never. You're trusting a 20-year-old with that shot, with no military background? Come on. Come on. Really? You're going to trust that? No. Never. Makes no sense. Some people just like to have a different opinion. No matter what you say, they will never be pleased. People call Trump Hitler. And people who genuinely believe that, you're an idiot. You're delusional. You have no capacity. You have no more than 2 brain cells. And none of them make any sense. I just don't understand why people say that. It's stupid. If we would discuss presidents in history that were more like Hitler than anyone else when it comes to concentration camps and all that, during that same time, FDR did have Japanese in camps. We can discuss that. Thomas Jefferson had slaves. We can discuss that. And guess what? He's on Mount Rushmore. FDR is looked as one of the best presidents ever. People who've done really good things for this country have had a lot of bad history. Trump doesn't even have a bad history of stuff of that nature, and people still criticize him and call him that, even though we've had presidents in, oh my gosh, throughout history that have done way worse. Andrew Jackson is on the $20 bill, and he sent all the natives out to Oklahoma just because he felt like it, just because he wanted the land down here, just because he felt like it. Any native was gone, and they said, you know what? Oh, we can fertile crops. There's a lot of farmland down here. Move more. And then we're going to kill y'all. And we're going to take the buffalo. We don't see people talking about that. But we compare Trump to doing it. You know, Trump's done nothing to that nature. Anything, he's kept the country within better off than it was before. I know I'm going off a little bit of a ramble right now, but just stay with me. He kept our soldiers overall in Afghanistan safe. Whenever they had to leave, they were safe. He had a plan for most everything. Had a plan of China for stuff too. Plans of Russia to wars like this were not going on under his administration. With Biden, it started happening because crazy meets crazy, and they respect it. Trump can be a bit crazy, but guess what? You have to have that if you're in political office, and you have to talk to people like Putin, who have some of those crazy minds out there. You have to understand that. You have to have a mind that can comprehend someone else's abilities and their craziness. Trump has dealt with so many business people in this time that have come up with the wildest of ideas. But he's able to handle it. He's able to translate that into the political world. And that's something that we have to understand. That's like would you rather trust someone that's a parent over a kid to coming up with what the school needs to do, trust the parent or the school district, or ask the students and the actual teachers, the people who are there and have experiences on different levels on what the school needs to do well? You're going to ask the people that are there, that have done that before. Biden, I get that, but he's older and he doesn't know what to do. I'm not sure if Kamala's been put in that position. If she has, I'm sorry, but I don't think she's ever been put in that position that she's had to make phone calls to Putin, phone calls to Kim Jong-un, phone calls to people down in the Middle East, in China, and have to convince them to do certain things. Have to convince them. I'm not sure. There's just something about the relatability of having to do this stuff in the past and saying, I've been here before. I can do this stuff. He has a relatability. He's been there before and had to make these type of calls and make these type of decisions. And some of these people have not done that to that level. It's only been in the political world, but a lot of stuff in politics translates to other departments of the country and of the world. Not everything's in your own bubble of the White House. No, you have to discuss business with other people. You have to discuss people's ideas and how the money works within certain communities. If you go to California, gas can be up to $7. You go down south, it can be down to $3. That's a different thing. The economy has to be adjusted in certain places. Also, Gavin Newsom's on here, and he let that happen. I doubt he's going to be put in that office of a position. But certain places have certain different things. Crops grow better in certain places of this country compared to up north. You don't find that stuff. So we need to get the food here up there. But how we do that? We have to put money into the farmers that can grow certain crops that we need to preserve. Gas and oil, we need to preserve that during that time. How are we going to be able to do that? We have to talk to business people in other countries and the people who control that stuff in other countries about this stuff and get that shipped over well. In political office, you don't always have to do that stuff to that nature. But in business people, you experience all of that. And that's why Trump was a very appealing candidate back in 2016. In 2020, to some people, he just ran his mouth the entire time in 2020. And that got annoying. But now he has shut up and let people like his, I think it was granddaughter, come up here. His son and J.D. Vance and many other people talk and him sit back, smile, and say, I got them people up on stage. They did a lot, but I chose these people. And they're showing me that they can do their job very well. Very well. I know they had a 98-year-old veteran out there, and he was smiling. It's great to see people that served in this country, especially in the time of what's called the greatest generation of World War II, out there and talking to the country that has been through so much stuff, and they're smiling because there's a chance of USA going on and fight, which is what Trump said after he got shot. Just stuff like that just makes you feel good. But some people don't make you feel that way. I'm not sure Kamala would make you feel that way. I'm not sure. And this is the time I'm going to discuss this part. This is the big what if out of all of them. I thought about and I'm interested to see. It's a big what if, but stay with me. I don't think the Democratic Party has a real shot at beating Trump without huge interference or Trump dying. I just don't see it. But let's say we're about a month and a half away from the September 10th debate going on. It's on ABC. They have to have someone out there. Someone has to debate Trump. Someone has to. Let's say the Democratic Party does not like, let's say Biden drops out by the end of the month, hypothetically. We're trying to find a new candidate. No one gains good traction. No one does. Kamala, people are looking at her and it's like, I don't want her. Like, she's getting pressed so hard. It's like, you know what? We don't have really anyone to put out. It's better off that we just avoid this debate and we have to stay out of this. The whole have any credibility, any hope of anything. And what happens? What happens if the Democrats are like, we don't want to risk anyone out there. Give us a different time. Different time. October, fine. What happens is Trump says, we need someone out here. I'll debate anyone. And RFK Jr., who's an independent, who outs for the entire time, on almost any poll that you look at, has been getting around 8 to 10% of the people's votes. Is he on all the ballots in every state? I don't think so, which you probably would need. But by that time, he probably could. If he has enough credibility that he can be put on a stage in the public world and say, you know what? The Democrats have no one. If they don't put anyone out there, I'm an independent. I'll keep running as an independent, but put me out there. RFK Jr. versus Trump on stage, I would way rather see that. Those are two way better candidates out there than with anything the Democratic Party can throw at it. The what if here Biden steps out of office is more of, can Kamala find any traction? Can they get any yards going forward? Because they've had a lot of turnovers. They've taken a lot of sacks, a lot of penalties. Can they finally find someone? They're benching Biden and they're starting Kamala. Will she make any much of a difference? If not, then you just gotta forfeit and let someone else go out there. Because what happens if RFK Jr., this is the whole idea, if RFK Jr. goes out there and makes Trump look bad, is it likely? No. But it's a way better shot than anyone in the Democratic Party. You let RFK Jr. go out there and he does good. And you take some of the people and you just push some of the people that would vote for Trump and be like, well, this RFK Jr. guy looks pretty good. I might not like what all Trump says, but I do like what RFK Jr. says. I'm going to vote for him. And some of the Democratic people will vote for him. But if that window's not enough, and the Democrats are like, hey, look at this guy. He's pretty good. More people will go to him, the independents. And I'm not saying I'm not saying this. Some people will just vote for Republican, vote for Democrat. But if I'm a Democrat, and I'm a hardcore Democrat, I would way rather see RFK Jr. in office than I would rather see Trump in office. You know what I mean? I would way rather see that than Trump in office. Because there's no way he's running at 81. In 2028, he's not running. There's no way. And that gives us 4 years to find someone else. And maybe this guy does pretty good. And we're okay. And he's still an independent. Some people have natural biases toward the Democratic and Republican parties. But what happens if he goes up on stage and does a great job and somehow can steal this election? What happens? Is it likely? No, but it's better than anybody Democrats got. And it's like, if I can't win this, you can't either. This goes completely out if Biden stays. And if Biden stays in it, my gosh. The other debate might be worse than one we just had about a month ago. And that one was egregiously bad. So I'd be shocked if he stays. Everyone wants him gone, but who's going to fill in Kamala would? Is she going to be the nominee? No one else is really better. That's the idea of RFK Jr. would be a great slip in as an independent. It's just like, I know we just bite the bullet. You're not going to win it. It sucks, but you're not going to win it. But let's see if we can push for another guy to somehow steal it. And if anyone's going to, it's going to be RFK Jr. He has credibility within the White House. He's been there before. He has a huge history. It's the most popular family within the White House of the Kennedys. Some people really do like him. He's easy to listen to. He's 70. He's younger than Biden and Trump by about 7 years at least by Trump's age difference. Push that. He's, again, history, good guy, not about, gives the right answers. And his voice sounds a bit weird, but that's perfectly fine if you can give good answers and you're a strong, powerful man that can have some charisma, which I think he does have enough of, and can stand up and look powerful and give us either clear meaning or message within what he's saying. State his opinion very well, which is nothing that the Democrats have. He does. Let's put him out there. I want him to get a shot. I just want him to get a shot. That's what I want, at least. I want to see RFK Jr. on the same stage as Trump, because no one of the Democrats no one of the Democratic Party is going to be good. Again, if I'm a Democrat, I've said it twice. I would way rather see someone else win other than Trump. If it's an independent, let them win. Let me push hard for them. And maybe I convince them to come over to be a Democrat. Maybe. Better shot than what Trump has. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking up here. Is it crazy? Probably. But we've had some crazy stuff happen. If you were going to tell me Biden's going to go up on the debate and completely collapse, more than probably what you would have thought, and then we're going to jump ahead and everyone's saying Biden needs to be kicked out, but the division's still in the country. And then a week ago, you're going to say, oh, Trump's going to get shot at, and it's going to be about 6 inches away from killing him. And he's going to have one of the most cool pictures in the history of American history, arguably the coolest. It's going to be one of the coolest pictures in the history of America, just in the United States. Within politics, within the country overall. It's going to be top 5. It's top 5. But it's going to be interesting to see. What's the other picture I would say is like more significant? Not just like iconic. What's that one? Was like World War II that like these soldiers are trying to get the flag stood up. They're trying to get the flag. I think it was like I forgot where it's at specifically, but I'll show the picture of it. That one's more iconic. But this thing, give it time, it will not match it, but it will rise the ranks and be probably right behind it. You can't write the script any better for this. Again, rest in peace to that one guy who died. Rest in peace to you. We're praying for y'all and y'all's family. But this is an insane situation. It really is. No one expected, I don't think anyone expected this much chaos within a month. I know. I don't think on your bingo card you had an assassination attempt, which has not happened in like 40 years. You might think, oh, Trump's going to get shot. Okay, sure. Really? You think that's going to happen? At a rally? In Pennsylvania? Really? That was not on your bingo card. No. It's not been happening since Reagan. But yeah, that's kind of my ideas. I don't think Democrats have anyone to fill in that will give genuine traction, respectability, and it will be interesting to see if Kamala really does want that debate with JD Vance. I'm very intrigued because if she gets wrecked, man, the Democrats are going to have to make some really tough decisions. They're going to have to make them quick because Trump's going to get a full. They're running a marathon, and the Democrats are like at mile 6. The Republicans are around mile 16, 17, and they're way ahead. Is there enough time to make traction? Barring injury, no. But we've seen craziness already happen. We might as well get more. We got a lot more times before people start voting. But Republicans have a full lead. What if Biden drops out? What if he doesn't drop out? We might discuss that next. But what if he doesn't drop out? What if he does drop out, though? What if he does? It's looking likely. Put down a comment your own opinions about this. Give an explanation on any Democrat you think has an opportunity to fill in for him. Hope you have a great day, y'all. Stay safe. And remember, y'all, God bless y'all.